Hello, welcome to my Brooklyn kitchen. Today I am cooking some cauliflower, and I was inspired. I also have this leek from the farmer's market, but the main ingredient here is the cauliflower. And what we're gonna do today is we're gonna make leek and cauliflower soup. And I was inspired by a lot of dishes that sub cauliflower for, or sub potatoes for cauliflower, and like make them interchangeable. And so I thought, why not try it? Instead of potato leek soup, do cauliflower leek soup. So let's see how it goes. It's gonna be a roasted cauliflower soup. So first thing to do is cut apart this cauliflower and get it on a tray and get it into the oven. So that's what I'm going to do. Today is Thursday. I bought this cauliflower last Thursday. Just keeping everybody in the loop. But cauliflower lasts a decent amount of time in the fridge. We're getting a couple little brown spots here, but that's totally fine. People will tell you you can eat this part. It's true. But I think I already have plenty of cauliflower here, so I'm gonna leave it. These are about the size that I want. The thing about cauliflower is that when you start chopping it up into small pieces, it makes a big mess, and I don't really feel like dealing with that, so I'm gonna cut them in chunks like this size. And I could, when I roast them, add olive oil to help with the browning, but I don't want the soup to get too oily, so I'm actually just gonna dry roast them in the pan, and hopefully they lose a little bit of moisture and gain a little bit of color and intensify the flavor a little bit. You can also just break them up instead of slicing them. But like little pieces like this might get burned, so just be careful. Okay, so I wasn't even really going to show you this part, but here we have our leeks. I've already washed them, and while our cauliflower is roasting, I'm just going to slice these up for when, and then when it's done, we will be ready to go and start our soup. our onions. And everything is going to get blended, so we can just chop these. It doesn't have to be in any particular way. Yeah. Careful when you do a stack like this, because it could easily like slip out and you could hurt yourself, but I am risking it. Okay. Okay, here we have our beautifully browned cauliflower bits. So I'm just going to flip them over so that the underside doesn't over brown. And these look really beautiful. They smell really good and toasty. So they have no salt, oil, or anything on them. And that just allows us to season the soup as much as we want once it's put together. Okay, so I'm just gonna let this cool. And then we're going to take some butter, not all of this, probably half of this, so like 2 tablespoons. And we're going to sweat our leeks and onions together on the stove. And then we'll add this in, sweat it all together, add some water, simmer it up, blend it, and we have soup. Okay, so because cauliflower is really fibrous, even though we roasted it and it was fully cooked, I want it to simmer with the leeks and onions until it's really, really soft. And that way it'll be nicer to eat on the palate. It's not gonna have any like really fibrous bits, and then it will be easier to blend when we use the hand blender. So I think we roasted it in the oven for like 45 minutes, and now we're gonna let it simmer for another 30 or so minutes. Okay, our cauliflower is nice and soft. I can break it apart with my wooden spoon, and now it's time to use your immersion blender to blend this all up. And this is one of my favorite kitchen tools ever. You can use it for lots of things, especially making soup. So this is hot, so I'm gonna kind of stand back and blend it up. Now let's taste. Okay, that is good. Use a little more salt. And then I'm gonna put it in a bowl and I'm gonna do a proper taste. I've just sprinkled a little bit of Old Bay on the top just because I like that little extra bit of spice and saltiness, and it looks nice. So now I'm going to give it a try. Oh, it turned out really well. This the soup is really comforting. It's really warm. You get the roasted flavor of the cauliflower, and that's mostly what you taste, but you do get a bit of the onion and leek in the background, which is really nice too. And the Old Bay on top as just a little seasoning is like a perfect way to add an extra little zhuzh to this. You can add it right in. I like it on top, and you can mix it in. I would also add like a good amount of black pepper would be really good. But this is the baseline. You can add whatever you want. And if you make it without the butter when you sweat your vegetables, this would be a vegan recipe. So yeah, make it however you like. This is just the base, and it's super, super tasty. A really nice alternative to potato leek. And if you find cauliflower at the farmer's market, now you know what to do with it. It's really so good. And if you take your time with the immersion blender, or if you have a high-powered blender at home, you get a really, really luxurious mouthfeel, and you would think that this was like a creamy soup or that there was potatoes in it or something, but it's just cauliflower, leeks, and onions. It's amazing. Super delicious.